When we got on scene of the fire here in the Bighorn, we knew that it had the potential to do what it actually ended up doing.
Stephen Miranda of the Coronado Forestry Department knew instantly the fire had potential to be bad, really bad.
I recall being up here on that day, watching as the fire moved across. It was spotting 4 miles ahead of itself. It was spotting down towards Oracle. Of course, at that point, we knew that we needed to emphasize some resources down in there.
Flashback to June 16th, 2020. That's when the Bighorn fire really exploded here on Mount Lemmon. Fire officials telling us today that it's windy conditions and this rugged terrain here behind me that made it nearly impossible for crews to fight this fire.
When you take a look around and you see what the intensity of this fire had.
The fire burned about 30% of Catalina State Park and parts of Mount Lemmon. But as intense as the flames were, life is returning, at least in Catalina State Park.
I've been impressed at how well it's come back.
Stephen Haas is the park manager. He couldn't believe how quickly the plants and animals have adapted to the conditions.
To me, the most interesting thing, and I'm not an expert on saguaros, are the saguaros. There are saguaros that after the fire, when I came and looked, I was like, they're not going to make it. Well, sure enough, and you can see some of these where you can see where they're burned, but look on top. There's flowers.
Though on the Mount Lemmon side, a full recovery is going to take a bit longer.
I feel like the recovery is still a little stunted from the drought.
Miranda says he hopes we get more rain this season, but knows that also brings fear of mudslides and flooding.
It's kind of a double-edged sword.
But as hopes of rain fill the minds of people across southern Arizona, officials want people to remember that fire danger is high and they don't want history to repeat itself.
It's critical that we do those prescribed burning fuels treatments and we accelerate those efforts, especially in the time that climate change is rapidly getting worse. It's changing before our eyes.
I'm Bailey O'Carroll, KYLD News 13.